Alrighty. It's been a little minute because I've actually been enjoying Metaphor Refantasio. So it has actually been a week since we played Final Fantasy, which I feel like I've not had to say for a little while. I have done some stuff. Last stream we unlocked the first phase of resistance weapons for Bosnia relics. I have gotten quite a few of the things that I need for that. To put it into context, I have 80% of everything we need for that first stage of weapons. But what I also have, as of just having completed a Super Fate, is almost enough Hydatos crystals for 2 relics. Which means I only need just over 1,800 more Hydatos crystals. But, more importantly, it means that we can finish another Eureka relic right now, which will then free up a slot in my armory chest, because I need that space for the first stage of the resistance weapons now. So we should do Knuckles. Knuckles are the next one that I have on my list. Are these going to look like shit? Because so far most, and when I say most, I mean like 90% of the Eureka relics have been underwhelming when compared to their Pyros counterpart. We will be doing post-Shadowbringers MSQ today. Oh, it's that kind of fist. Demuzi. Eh. They don't really do anything for me, but what they look like with the glow effect? Probably not much better. The red tint to them I don't hate. But I just don't like that style of fist weapon. I'd rather have like Sai that are in your hand than have it be like, oh, you're gripping onto a bar and then the weapon's up here. It just doesn't... I don't think they look good. They look so separate from our actual hand as well, because of how big those have got to be to account for like Rogadin and Hrothgar. Oh, go on! I'm still here. We'll go and do Frostmane. I pressed the wrong button. Didn't intend on doing more NMs, but there's one here. I'd be silly not to take it. Because like I say, I still need 1,800 crystals. But the next weapon that we're going to complete will be Dragoon, which is probably going to look underwhelming. Although actually, the Pyros relic for Dragoon I didn't care for very much. So the Eureka one might be better. And I'm not particularly attached. I mean, I don't like the Anima relic. The Zodiark relic is the best I have so far, but I'm also not overly attached to it. So, depending on what Eureka looks like, there is a chance that it could be better than the other stuff I've got. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, but now let's dip out, and I actually need to DC travel back to Phantom. Because I am on light right now. Although I think there is another BA run later on today. Yeah, starting in an hour. But it's a challenge run, so it might not get to AV. It's probably still worth me trying for, though. But that means that in about an hour and 20 to 30 minutes, I'll try and head back into Hydatos. Other than losing my mind in Hydatos, though, I have also been leveling Ninja, and it is now at level 96, almost 97, I believe. So I'm very close to being done with Ninja, and pretty much not having to play it again. Hello there, Patinga. How are you doing? Hey, Patinga. You know how you trust me with myself, and to like be smart and make sensible decisions. I was left unsupervised. No, it's a multi-tool. I've been needing one since my old one broke. I mean, to be fair, I still have half of my old one, which was the Leatherman Micra, which comes with scissors in it. This is not the half with the knife, but now I have the Skeletool instead. So I did need it to replace this, but it's mainly a box opener. It's nice to have a set of pliers whenever you need them, and a knife, a good knife, is handy to have at times. Okay, so we have 45 scale powders. I still need 11 more, and that is all the scale powder we will ever need. Yeah, I actually haven't been farming tombstones deliberately. You get a lot of them in Eureka, and I've been doing my daily roulettes in order to level Ninja, which, like I said, is almost at 97. So yeah. Wait, no, not you. Who, where, when, what? Summoning bell. Right? Yeah, that's what I meant to do. Okay. We didn't get anything too great, but that's fine. But what we can do now is if we head into Gangos, we need to, well, we don't need to, but we can get more of the first stage resistance relics. Because I kind of want to see what these look like, even though I am not going to have the inventory space. I might just have to put them into my Chocobo storage. Alright, what does our first stage of our first Gunbreaker relic look like? I mean, I actually don't hate that. Already, that's kind of cool because it's got a bunch of different cylinders and stuff on it. I actually like that. I would expect to like the Dancer and Gunbreaker ones, because this is the first relic that they have. And if I don't like them, that's unfortunate, because it's the only relic they're going to have until we get to the end of Endwalker. Although with how quickly I've been getting tombstones at the minute, I don't think that the Endwalker stage will necessarily take us that long to complete the relics. Although by that point I will have completed Eureka, so I won't be getting tombstones from Eureka anymore. But I will almost certainly still be doing Bosnia. Oh, okay. Sort of druidic. Makes sense for a white mage. I don't hate that, actually. I really don't hate that. Oh yeah, I changed my healer armor for Scholar. Because I got the... This is the Pale... Halgan? What is it? Paglathan. Chess piece. And it looks a bit more interesting than the... what was that I was using before? It was the Republican set, just dyed black, which didn't look bad, but this is a little bit more interesting. It also shows more skin. I have not been that thirsty the majority of this game. And now I finally have access to like 2B leggings and things like that. I'm gonna make some thirsty glands, okay? Deal with it. It's a book. I don't know what I expected. I do imagine it's gonna be difficult to beat the Pyros relics for Scholar and Summoner. Because I don't think any of the other stages, at least that I know of, I must admit, I've not seen many of the Mandeville stages for the Endwalker relic stages. for the healers. But I don't imagine that there's going to be many that are going to have that same sort of wing motif that I really like for both Scholar and Summoner. But it also could be difficult to get a better Astro relic than the Animal one. Although this is interesting looking. Never mind. I mean, I like the star in the middle and the orbiting orbs. But I was kind of hoping that the inner sort of flower design was gonna do more. That would have been more interesting. But okay, that's all the healers. So now we move on to DPS. I'm going to be able to complete all but 3 of the relics, which will be Black Mage, Summoner, and Red Mage at the moment. But that's fine. I mean, that's a fairly standard Tonfa, so they're not anything special yet. What about Dragoon? Because I haven't really, like I was saying, I haven't really got any Dragoon stuff that I care about too much yet. I mean, that's not bad, actually. If they continue building on that, that could be pretty good. What about Ninja? That looked like a katana. Because it is a katana. Okay, so we can dual wield katanas. Fair enough. Speaking of katanas. So far, the Eureka relic wasn't that amazing. For Samurai, I prefer the Suzuki extreme weapon. So, high hopes for Bosnia? Ma! It's a fat sheath. It feels very Auron from Final Fantasy X. I don't hate it. Hey monkey, how you doing? Reaper didn't exist yet, Viper didn't exist yet. Now is the time to choose. Die and be free of pain, or live and fight your sorrow. Why is that so familiar, yet I don't remember? That's right, it's because it's something that Auron said. It's been a while since I played Final Fantasy X, okay? Brilliance. I'm not sure I like that. I like the quiver, but I don't like the fucking fat bits that this has. That doesn't look great to me. What about a gun? Come on, you made a gun blade look good so far. So what about just a straight up gun? I know that it's gonna have the shitty looking lunchbox, but that is precisely why I should play Final Fantasy X again. The Dark Aeons are calling. Penance seeks my company. Okay, look. Final Fantasy X and the Dark Aeons and Penance, I had planned to do them as part of my 10 years of streaming anniversary. But that didn't happen. That got cancelled. I contemplated doing it for my birthday, but didn't. So Final Fantasy X is still going to happen at some point. It is probably going to be my 11-year stream anniversary at this point, though. There is a strong chance. It's okay. It's not great. It's okay. What about Dancer? Maybe I could do it for your birthdays. What you're telling me is soon, TM, just like the past 8 years. You want to know what the other thing is? Patinga. I promised that we would do it when I got to 10 sub points. We got up to over 20 sub points from the December event in Final Fantasy XIV, where you gifted subs and got the snowman mount. I like that animation for it clicking out. I like that. I wish the rest of it was a bit more interesting, but yeah. Okay, well, I can't afford the next one. It's as many as we can do right now. But there we go. We have now done all but 3 of the resistance relics. Where do I need to go? It's Mordona. Okay. Let's go. So yes, the thing that I promised that needed to be done and I'd do it has happened. The event where I was planning on doing it got cancelled. And then my birthday. I'm a depressed little shit around my birthday. I'm 30 now. Old. That's not why I'm depressed. But it's still true. I already have that, so we can get rid of that. Alright. It isn't that you're disappointed or unhappy, you're just waiting. And you'll keep waiting. So the issue is that I don't know if I want to do another run of Final Fantasy X. Because that would take a long time. That would take a long time. Even with me using the mods that, like, level up every character instead of just the active ones and things like that for the sphere grid. I definitely would do that if I was gonna play the game again, because that's just a nice quality of life thing. And I would play it with mods so that we are playing with the Dark Aeons and we have to kill the normal Aeons, because that's interesting to me. And I should do it. I should do it, I know. I need redemption for the fuck Aeons. I need redemption. But if I was with what I had planned to do for my 10-year stream anniversary, it would have been getting a save file and just doing the Dark Aeons and maybe attempting penance on maxed out characters already with the celestial weapons and everything. If I avoid fights and just go through the story again, doing bosses obviously, but if I just go through the game for the story and avoid a lot of the random encounters, we could probably get through it pretty quick with me like leveling up either off stream or through very legitimate means. That could be good. Because I've played the game before. I don't need to going through 20 fights whilst trying to go through the Mihihen High Road again. I mean, 20 would probably not be that many fights going through the Mihihen High Road. You wish just having all of that was enough. I know. Katinka just DM'd you instead. He's going on strike unless he sees a dead Aeon.
Hey all, and what I'm...
Okay, I'll make it happen. Oh my, would you look at that? It's a dead Dark Aeon! How did that happen? Oh my! Oh my! See? I did it! Easy! The worst part is he can just fight Ixion in this game and complete that requirement you totally asked for. I mean, I could do that. You're right. Or even better. Is I can do the exact same I can Ifrit. It's not the same Ifrit. It doesn't count because it's not the same Ifrit. But look, he's dead. There you go, dead Aeon. Aeon Primal, same thing. It is the exact same Ixion, yes, but Ixion only spawns once every 3 days on each world and requires multiple people to kill. I can ride him for you. Would you accept that? Where is he? There he is. Look, I've dominated him so hard that he is now my steed. Just spawn it. Ixion isn't one you deliberately spawn. The Shadowbringers ones are. They're spawned by doing a fate chain. But that fate chain only completes once every... Like, you can only do the last stage of it that spawns the special fate when it's off cooldown. Otherwise, it just cycles through the rest of it. Yuno would be disappointed with your words, sir. You don't get it. It's a 50-50. Just spawn it. No. That's not what we're doing today, damn it. It's not what we're doing. What am I doing? Okay, Rising Sands. Rising Stones, sorry. Oh yeah. What class do we want to do this as? I suppose I should probably do it... I could do it as ninja in order to get the experience. I have also changed... Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Who is using the glam that I changed? Is anyone? Please? You are, okay. I now have Goth Girl glam. Of course I love it. It's very telling of me that a ripped jumper like that is actual ERP glam. You're probably not wrong. You're probably not wrong. There will be a lot of people that are using this for that, but it's not. It's not the 2B leggings, okay? I don't have the Brazilian butt lift that comes from wearing the 2B leggings. So it's more covered than that. Anyway, I do want the experience on here anyway. Although it's not much, because it's... Yeah, it's probably not worth thinking about. After gods, it's good to see you. I hope you being here means you've had your fill of rest. More than my fill. I mean, that is the past 12 ERP sessions. What, the 2B leggings are the last 12? And then it's the 13th they decided, okay, we'll go a little bit more covered up and casual this time. Well, you've certainly earned it. Not much has happened since your last visit. I had planned for you to meet that helper I told you about, but he refuses to answer his link pearl. I do hope he's alright. We've been exchanging messages with the Eorzean Alliance throughout, though. They say the fighting has finally stopped at Gimlet Dark, and that the Empire's shown no sign of movement. Which means we might actually have a moment to ourselves for a change. Seeing as you're back, maybe you could tell me more about your time in the First? You know what? Sure. Precisely what you meant. Great. Oh, and if you don't mind, I'd like to ask Philomene to join us. She'll want to know what happened to Minfilia, and I think it's best she hears it from you. We'll meet you on the terrace at the House of Splendors. So, how much experience do I actually get? It is literally like 22,000. Yeah, that's a drop in the fucking ocean. So let's look good. And not like a street walking hooker. I do like my ninja glam, but I do appreciate that it is also kind of a lot. But the thing is that the scouting trousers for the same set as that chest piece really don't look like they fit that chest piece, whereas the 2B leggings do more. So, deal with it. After? My, it's been too long. Tataru did mention I would be joining you, did she not? Been a while since we've spoken to Philomene. Thank you. Words cannot well express how I've longed to know more of the first. This world Minfilia has sacrificed so much to save. But come, rest your feet. Tataru should be arriving shortly. She takes longer because she's got tiny legs. And so Minfilia chose to pass on her gifts to the next oracle. This girl who Thancred named Rhine. To have such a burden thrust upon her as a child, only to embrace it when given the choice. In that respect, they are quite alike. It would seem her legacy is indeed in capable hands. After, might I ask a favour of you when you next return to the First? To tell Rhine what I cannot. To tell her thank you. And I would offer thanks to you as well, for staying with her to the end. Begging your pardon, but could I have a word? Oh, it's him. That was not the right voice at all, then. Real! I hope you're here to tell me you've received word from our helper. I wish. Nay, I've not had a peep out of him, and it's been a good long while too. Too bloody long. On account of which, I'm going to sneak over the border and see if I can't get a signal to him from closer up. But what if they catch you? There must be another way. Well, ain't as if we can ask Thancred to do it. Besides, I shouldn't have no trouble picking my way through Gimlet now the fighting's died down. God knows there's enough shadows to hide in. And it beats waiting round here twiddling my thumbs. Any road, just thought I'd let you know. Now, I'd best be... I nearly forgot. Kral's at the stones and she wants a word. It's something to do with the patients. She was getting ready to examine him again when I left. Because the others haven't woken up yet, right? We'd best head back then. I'm sure it's important. Oh look, it's Ixion! Oh look, Ixion's gone! I've beaten him! Did that seem believable? Is my obligation met, Patinga? Please don't go on strike. It seems she's still examining them. Oh, I do hope it's nothing bad. I don't think I've ever appreciated how much the chest on that set of drawers looks like one from Kingdom Hearts.
You're here. Good.
It's voice acted. Good.
So, how are they?
Still locked in slumber, but otherwise in good physical health. For the present, at least.
Ominous.
For the present? Oh no, is something wrong with them?
I'm afraid there may be. I summoned you after detecting faint signs of instability in Thancred's corporeal ether. But subsequent examination suggested all 5 might be affected. And when I examined them just now, my fears were confirmed. Tellingly, the degree of instability varies between them. Thancred exhibits the most notable signs, followed by Y'shtola and Urianger. The twins' ether, meanwhile, remains relatively stable, but there is a change there too if one knows to look for it.
Hold on. Isn't that the order they were called away in?
Indeed. Which leads me to believe the instability will only increase with time. Though I can but speculate, I fear this may be a symptom of a weakening link between body and soul.
I mean, it would make sense. They
By
spent
the gods!
years
What
there.
happens if the link is broken?
I cannot say for certain. This is all unknown territory to us. Yet whatever happens, it cannot be good. Mercifully, the instability is still only slight. And you may rest assured, Master Matoya and I will do everything in our power to keep it from worsening.
Good to know.
Be that as it may, it is imperative that you find a way to restore our friends' souls to their bodies.
Leave it to me.
Thank you.
You like my new outfit?
But where's she even supposed to start? We had the greatest minds in the realm hunting high and low for an answer, and they ran out of places to look.
How about the first?
You stated in your report that the Exarch had originally intended to reverse the summoning process by means of his own death, correct?
So you want me to kill him?
Raha always was a reckless young fool, ready to die for the first righteous cause that came along. His plan might well have worked, but I for one am glad he never had the opportunity to see it through. Even if it does mean our friends must remain stranded a while longer. There is another way, I am sure of it. And the key lies with him, with the Exarch. Pray return to the first and apprise him and the others of the situation. We, meanwhile, will do what we can from here. And, if the fates are kind, we will have good news to share upon your return.
Okay. Back to the Crystarium. Maybe the Exarch will appreciate my new outfit. Probably not. Hey, Graha. After, you are returned. Hope your time in the source was suitably restful. But, of course it wasn't. Go on. The corporeal ether shows signs of instability. By the gods, possibility never even occurred to me. If you have returned in the hope that my research has yielded a solution, I fear you will be sorely disappointed. 'Tis but a mercy we have the likes of Mistress Kryle and Master Matoya to keep our friend's bodies safe while we wrestle with the problem. But they cannot forestall the separation of body and soul indefinitely. Come, the others must be told. Where's Thancred? And Urianger. Okay, there's Urianger. Just fashionably late.
Pray excuse my late arrival.
At least
Will
he's
Thancred and Green
apologising.
not be joining us?
Nay, milady. With apologies to all, they beg leave to pursue their investigation of the empty to its conclusion. Should matters here demand their presence, however, they did assure me that they would make themselves available.
Yes, of course. Then let us proceed. I think it best that you begin by providing a summary of Mistress Kryle's findings.
I suppose it was only to be expected that some change would occur.
Yet our souls seem unaffected, to my eye at least. How long they will remain so is another question. Kryle is right. It is imperative we find a way to return to the source.
Perhaps an explanation of the method by which I brought you here will yield some inspiration.
To start.
Ere I begin, it must be noted that I am by no means a gifted mage. In order to employ powerful magics, I must rely upon the Crystal Tower and its boundless reservoirs of energy. The magic that summoned you was no exception. 'Tis a singular spell, adapted through painstaking effort from the technique that transported me to the first. To use an analogy, it works by cutting a hole in the fabric of reality. A hole tailored to the object of summoning, through which it and it alone may pass unscathed. Though I succeeded in creating said hole, I failed to latch onto my intended target. Instead of you, the spell found those close to you, and ended up summoning them in their incomplete state. I would not soon throw my life away, not after the lengths you and yours went to save it. And so long as I breathe, I will spare no effort to see you safely home. But should all else fail, and your lives be at stake, there remains one sure method.
Murder. Bitch slap him.
Oh,
You know what? That's better.
what was
The
that
ears!
How can you even entertain such thoughts? You owe your life to the Warrior of Light, and you don't get to die unless she says so.
Your followers await your divine judgment.
for? What did you just...
If the two of you have finished, perhaps we could return to our discussion? Rather than dwelling upon the multiple failed attempts at transference, I think it would behoove us to focus on the solitary success. I would draw your attention to the fact that our friend can travel between worlds possessed not only of her body and soul, but her personal effects besides. This is no different from the teleportation magics to which we are all accustomed. Magics that allow for the transportation of those inanimate objects one considers to be an extension of oneself.
Are you suggesting that simply by considering us her possessions, she could carry our souls back to the source upon her person?
Well, it would be nice if things were that simple for a change. But vague notions of ownership seem a rather tenuous thing to stake our lives on. So much as a moment of doubt on her part and we'd be left floating in the rift.
Milady hath the right of it. The requisite fixity of belief would be too much to ask even of our friend. Yet were we to immure our souls within an object in her possession, mayhap then our safe passage could be assured.
You want a soul bond?
White Auricide would, I believe, serve as a suitable vessel for this purpose. It was conceived to imprison the massy soul of an Ascian, and should house one of ours with relative ease. We would need only to ensure our soul's safe preservation inside the stone, and identify a means by which they might be transferred back unto our vacant bodies.
Soul preservation and transference. I believe I know of someone who may be able to assist us. On the far shore of the source, there stands a great palace built by the elves. It was forsaken in the wake of the flood, but a certain Numo chose to make their home there soon after. Though they have long lived as a recluse, they once occupied a place of honor in Verbert's royal court, and it is said that none in all of Norvrant is more knowledgeable than they on matters of the soul.
Well, I've no objection to seeking a helping hand, but if they've gone to such lengths to hide themselves away from the world, what makes you think they'd be willing to lend us one?
A worthy question. Years ago, I myself tried and failed to solicit their cooperation in the battle against the Sin Eaters. No sooner had I begun to make my plea than they unleashed a swarm of their familiars upon me.
But we have the blessing
Unlike
of the
me,
King of the Pharaohs.
However, you have curried favor with the Fae folk. By that merit alone, I am hopeful that they would grant you an audience. They may still be inclined to turn you away, of course, but if their knowledge might feasibly facilitate your return home, we have to try.
A grand adventure. The Grand Cosmos, that is the palace we seek, stands on the opposite shore of the source. I'll arrange for a boat to carry us there. Whilst thou journeyest thither, I think it best that I devote mine energies to the creation of white auricite, by thy leave, of course. The process requireth no small amount of time, and should the Numu consent to lending us their aid, we will have need of a suitable vessel ere long. Agreed. Then I would ask the rest of you meet me in Sullen, and do be prepared for a warm reception. So, the Grand Cosmos is the last bit of MSQ content that I have done before. Once we've done Grand Cosmos, everything is brand new to me. we're already there with the side content. I've never done Bosnia. I had never done the Near Alliance raids. But after this dungeon, everything will be new. I don't remember what point in the MSQ quests I got to, but it can't have been far after the Grand Cosmos. Well, it can't have been because I didn't get to whatever the next piece of content was. I think I need to get to either, I think it's patch 5.3 for Eden, or 5.45 in order to get everything for... No, there isn't a 4.5. There's just a 4, and that's Futures Rewritten. There's a 5.5, but that's the last bit of content. Okay. But yeah, I think I need to finish 5.3 in order to have access to all of the Eden tiers, which is the normal raids for Shadowbringers. As I told you before, I'd scarcely set foot on the palace grounds when I was set upon by our host's familiars, and I expect our reception today to be no different, which is why I propose we march through the main gate, weapons drawn. I'm sorry, but are we not here to petition for assistance? You can't honestly think barging in looking for a fight is going to persuade them. Actually, I believe the Exarch may have the right of it. They have no doubt poured a great deal of time and energy into their creations. Were I them, I should be most interested to meet with one who could overcome my defences. As would any true seeker of knowledge, and there is little we can say or do to convince them to help us if we know nothing of their character, nor less why they chose to hide themselves from the world. But if we can seize their interest, mayhap we can earn ourselves an audience. Weapons drawn it is, then. Though I must say, Exarch, you certainly seem to be enjoying all this. Do I? Well, I'll not deny I enjoyed the thought of fighting alongside you all rather than pacing about inside the Crystal Tower. You both seem to be in rather high spirits, if you ask me. Not that I'm surprised. Your moods invariably improve when After is around. What exactly are you implying? She averted a calamity, and the light which seemed destined to consume her has been extinguished. 'Tis only natural that we can be pleased to see her. Yes, well, you'll have plenty of time to celebrate her good health after we've finished here. Of course. Then let us proceed to the palace. I am suddenly reminded about trusts. And the fact that I have yet to do basically any of them. Yeah. I need to do more of that. Enter the Grand Cosmos. Let's do it as Astra, because I've not done a healer in a little minute. I could probably solo it. But no. Less than 5 minutes. We can do that. In the meantime, anything. I nearly have enough for the next Resistance Stage 1 relic. Big fucking doors. That does not look like a new move. That looks like Jar Jar Binks fucked Cthulhu. I have only done this dungeon maybe twice ever, so I don't remember it very well. And that is assuming that this is the dungeon I think it is, because it might not be actually. I think there might be a later dungeon where we ride the Bismarck guy again. Swish and flick. Yeah, this might not actually have been the last bit of content that I did. I thought it was, but I might have been misremembering. What's the next dungeon I am forgetting how to fucking play this shit, by the way. It is going badly. I am not a good Astro. Why did I do Helios? That's not the right thing at all! Oh god. What are buttons? What do they do? This is so bad. I never said I was a good Astro. Yeah, I really don't remember this dungeon. Actually. Okay, the ink. How did I get hit? go as well. Okay. It's worth on getting this one out. Okay. Well, the good news is I haven't died. Bad news is I could probably have done that a lot better. Oh yeah, this place reminds me of Castle Mickey. I think I do vaguely remember this after. Yeah, this definitely isn't the last dungeon I remember doing. So it must be the one after this. I had to be with a paladin. Paladins are good. They have a lot of utility for doing like party-wide mitigations and covering damage being done to other party members and stuff. But they also don't have as much sustainability as the other tanks. So you end up having to heal them a lot. At least from my experience. For a second I thought maybe we hadn't got it out in time.
Okay. Oh, this is where you get the warg stuff. Oh. Oh, crash. That's not at all dangerous when I'm doing. Have the pants of striking. I really suck at this one. Given that, you know, most of the times that I play or have played Astro has been lower level content than this. So I don't know how to play it high level. Just in general. I should really be using my divination more. I can use it against these trash kills. That's fine. Wait, no, I do remember this dungeon. Fire. Fire. You have sullied these halls long enough. Come, Lugus. Our guests yet want for company. Fire. So yeah, it must be the next boss. Sorry, the next dungeon that I'm thinking about. Oh, that's not good. The tank immediately lagging upon pull. I know that if you're not careful, you can end up burning things, or you want to. Or you need to. You need to pass the flame on to stuff. Otherwise it kills you, right? I thought they'd done a great job at getting themselves killed for a second. Well, we made it through. Somehow. It certainly wasn't with skill. What's the next dungeon then? Oh, it might be the next dungeon that I know. It must be. Yeah, it is. Okay, so it's the next dungeon.
That was my fiercest familiar. Oh, impressive.
Which is the end of the next patch. I was gonna... well, no, I did say he didn't look like a new moon.
Backlook, 'tis good to see you again after all these years. And judging by your vigorous greeting, I dare say the feeling is mutual. To be sure, a simple shake of the hand would have sufficed by way of welcome, but I shan't complain. But you must be wondering as to the purpose of our visit. We come to beg your assistance in a most urgent matter.
Sake? Beg?
Our comrades' very souls are in danger. If we are to save them, we will need the benefit of your unsurpassed knowledge on the matter. Please, will you not sit and hear our plea?
You're talking to him like a dog.
Oh, how dare you! How dare you speak thus in my presence! It was to escape such words of temptation that I hid myself from the world of men. You are sinners, one and all, and I swore never again to have any part in your affairs.
Oh yeah, because the Numu are like inherently subservient.
I can only imagine what terrible events forced you into a life of seclusion. But I know that the Numo are a good and noble folk. It is not in your nature to turn a blind eye to the plight of those around you. And in treating with us, I am certain whatever mistrust you feel for man will begin to heal.
If you will not be satisfied, I suppose I could listen. After all, there's no harm in just... No, I mustn't. Not again. That damn court mage seemed to have the best of intentions too, and countless innocents died for my naivety. Oh, you know not what you ask of me, what horrors my knowledge has wrought.
You mean the magical plague of Vobert?
You know of the plague? Then you know how dangerous soulcraft can be. Instead of saving your friends, you risk damning them. Are you sure you're willing to take that chance?
No. No.
Oh, very well. I will hear your petition, but that is all. And I expect fitting payment for my troubles.
Commensurate with your contribution to our cause. No more and no less, I promise you. With that settled, might I impose upon you to join us at the Crystarium? I'm afraid the nature of my friend's predicament calls for absolute secrecy.
Well, he agreed to that rather easily. There you are. The others have gone ahead to the Crystal Tower with Beck Lug. For the record, I truly wish we hadn't had to resort to using such words when treating with them. I have ever sought to convince, not compel. Yet I cannot deny that a part of me is glad Urianger shared his knowledge of the Numu with us. Had he not, Beck Luke wouldn't be here. Speaking of whom, we should hurry. To keep our guest waiting would only add insult to injury. Okay, so I can now enter the Grand Cosmos for trusts. We mustn't dally here any longer, after. If Beck Luke is to hear the truth of our travails in the first, you of all people should be present. Oh, and I also got the Seeker of Solitude card. Nice. I'm not doing too badly for MGP at the minute as well. It's slowly building up. But I don't need it to build up as high as it has done in the past, so that's fine. This patch might not take that long to get through. We'll probably get through it today. Because there's no more dungeons. But I don't know if there's any more, like, instanced... like, level synced instance.
I'm sorry. Stuff. You mean to tell me not only that the return of night was your doing...
Yep.
But that you hail from another world as well?
Yep.
Everything we told you, of the source, the shards, the 7 umbral calamities, all of it is true. I realize how fantastical it sounds, and I would not blame you for doubting our testimony. But given your expertise, you must surely have noted the peculiar nature of their souls.
Any other time and I would have dismissed your stories as balderdash and flummery. But upon closer inspection, 'tis plain their souls are far denser than is normal, and that they do not possess true bodies. Save you. Your body is your own.
Yes.
And your soul is the densest of them all.
You calling me dense?
As I said before, were it not for their heroism, the skies over Norvrant would still be awash with light, the realm yet at the mercy of 4-3 and the Sin Eaters. After all they have done for our home, seeing them safely back to their own, it seems the very least we can do.
Your tale is intriguing. Yes, very intriguing indeed. Simply to hear it is fitting payment in itself.
Okay.
As for your friends, I can but agree. Their valorous deeds on behalf of Norvrant are deserving of recognition, of their own fitting payment.
You will help us then?
I will. I would see my knowledge put to good use for a change. I do have one condition, however. I am not the spry young Numo I once was. As such, I will require assistance in my fieldwork and testing.
It would be our pleasure. We'll be laboring for our own benefit after all.
What do you want us to do then? You have spun quite a tale, but tell me, have you given any thought as to how you might return to your world? White Aurosite, you say? An intriguing proposition, but one which fails to account for the present state of your souls. They have become highly charged, likely as a consequence of having maintained tangible forms for so long. In such an energetic, unstable state, there's no telling what may happen to their souls within the Aurosite. They could very well become immutable to transference, never to be restored to their bodies. Then, would it be possible to force our souls into a state of dormancy, prior to transference? In theory, yes, but the soul is not a candle to be snuffed out and relit on a whim. Well, that sounds ominous. What exactly would rendering our souls dormant entail? In order to maintain a corporeal form, your souls constantly draw ether from your surroundings. This process must be halted, and the resulting surfeit of ether removed. Your minds would ultimately become separated from these faux bodies of yours, rendering you incapable of interacting with the world around you. A cruel fate under normal circumstances, but one which will be rectified upon your return home. So it would be like what Ardbert was like. Leaving lifeless husks, like those poor souls at the inn at Journey's Head, corrupted by the sin eaters, their ether made stagnant by the light. Corrupted? Stagnant? Might I see these unfortunate individuals? Why? Do you think you can help them? I might, or I might not, but I shan't know for sure until I've seen their condition firsthand. Then I would be glad to take you to them, on the understanding that you won't do anything which might increase their suffering. It was my faith in man I lost, not my compassion. Well, I see no need for us all to accompany you. While you escort our guest to the inn, I will assist Urianger in creating the requisite Aurosite. I believe my talents would be better applied to that endeavour as well. Might I leave the three of you to assist Beklug as necessary? That name fucks me up for some reason. Let us make for Armoreng then. I mean, what am I doing? I could just teleport there. Whee! I will require a beverage soon. So this is Hulric, is it? Yes. This etheric balance leans perilously towards the light. Towards stasis. What do you suppose will happen to him? Not too bright, are you, boy? The same as all souls corrupted by the light. He will become a sin eater. You don't know that. We've defeated the Wardens and banished the light from the night sky. Ulrich was completely unresponsive before, but now... Then perhaps there is yet hope, hmm? If I may, there is a treatment I wish to administer to the patients. What sort of treatment? In the course of my studies of the soul, I once created a tonic which could temporarily stimulate the ether in one's body. After some refinement, it came to be used by the Knights of Vobert. Then, for far darker purposes. Lest it fall into the wrong hands, I swore never again to make it. But for their sakes, I will break that oath. It is not like to reverse the stagnation, mind you, but it should offer some measure of relief. Sounds like it's worth a try then. Oh, he just happened to already have it. Okay. I guess it wasn't difficult to make. Toden stares blankly at you. It would seem the tonic had no effect. What is this warmth I feel in my chest? I feel warm. And my legs, they don't feel as heavy. Well, it's definitely helped. Somewhat. Now then, have you noted any change in the patients? A notable rise in body temperature and increased motor function, in most of the patients at least. The more severely affected showed no response. As I feared then. 'Tis true that with the restoration of night, the corrupting influence of light will no longer grow, and yes, their bodies will naturally return to equilibrium given time. This holds true only for their corporeal ether. Their incorporeal ether, that of the soul, is not so easily mended. Which is why those in the later stages of corruption like Halric appear unaffected by your tonic. Precisely. Boy's soul is too far gone, his mind held together by the finest of threads. There's a chance he may one day recover, of course. But it could take years, decades even. By the gods, he could wake to find himself an old man. A fine reward for his persistence. The opportunity to mourn the life he never had a chance to live. No, there must be something we can do. Look, I realize this isn't why we petitioned your aid, but do you think it possible we can find a way to hasten their recovery? Maybe. Nor do I think it impossible that in treating them, we might learn something of relevance to your own predicament. Let's get metaphysical. Physical. I suspect the Crystal Exarch has told you of my past. That I was once a mage of the royal court of Vobert, and that soulcraft was my field of study. The tonic you administer to the patients here is one of the fruits of my labours. I hope to do great things for the kingdom. But in the end, my knowledge brought only suffering, a plague the likes of which none had ever seen. In the hands of unscrupulous men, that should have been my greatest triumph instead, became my greatest shame. At least the warriors of light brought those responsible to justice. Aye, that they did. I shudder to think what might have happened had they not. But let us return to the task at hand. Finding a means by which we might revitalize these people's incorporeal ether. Do you think it can be done? Were the sky still ablaze with primordial light, I would call it an exercise in futility. But now we may have a chance. The method I have in mind will entail the conjuring of a familiar. They are able to amplify the energies poured into them, making them the perfect conduit for the ether revitalizing magics we will ultimately employ. If you're about to launch into a lengthy explanation of the metaphysics of your plan, don't bother. I'd rather get on with doing whatever it is that needs to be done, if it's all the same to you. Whatever reagents must be procured or spells invoked, I'll do it. I admire your spirit. Very well. Your first task will be to gather the necessary materials. The purest of waters and finest of clay, as well as a fey lantern brimming with pixie magic. If you're convinced the resulting familiar could help the patients, fine. Alphino, the water and clay will be simple enough, but I think you know what we'll have to do to get the lantern. You don't mean... The pixies took quite a liking to us before. If we humour them with our company, I'm sure they'll be willing to help us. Fine. We'll pay a visit to Ilmeg, but I never thought you would be the one to suggest going back there. I'm impressed you've been there at all, let alone befriended the Fey folk. Oh, while you're about it, seek out the New Mu of Plaini. They'll be able to supply you with water suitable for our needs. Right, let's get this over with, shall we? There still remains the matter of the clay. Might I prevail upon you to find it? Okay. I need clay. Where do I get clay? Clay from Armoreng would likely be best. Know you of anyone who might be able to assist us? Could ask the miners. Yes, they'll be able to point you in the right direction, I'm sure. While you and the twins are occupied, I'll see if there is aught else I can learn of the stagnation which afflicts the people here. So I need to head to Twine. There we go. Hey, Magnus. After? What a coincidence. You come at a good time. We just, this moment, finished repairing the Talos and trolley you lot took to Nabartharang. The trolley was no trouble, but the Talos would have been another matter, had we not had a visit from Master Chai. He offered us a share of the leftover building materials from Daedalus Stoneworks, as well as a few trade secrets to help us along. Oh, that's nice. Clever man, that Chai Nuz. He seemed pretty keen on the ideas I had for putting the giant Talos to work. Like a giant trolley. But Magnus still refuses to see all the good we could do with it. You're entitled to your dreams, Jarek. That doesn't mean you can go harassing our guests with them. Master Chai was just being polite. And something tells me after here didn't come all this way to talk about trolleys. What is it you need? I see. And this familiar requires clay from Armoreng. Well, look no further. If anyone can find you some quality clay, it's us. Saying that, it isn't exactly a commodity nowadays. There must be some lurking somewhere or other, waiting to be dug up. If I'm not mistaken, there was a time when they used to take clay from Mount Buran mines to make adobe bricks. The place is swarming with coyotes now, but if you're after the good stuff, you could do worse than to look there. Coyotes. Where am I headed? Okay. One. Oh, turns out I need to kill these anyway. Apparently. It has been a long time since I've played Bob. And I need to kill the gnomes too? Oh. You know what? Get out here. I need to kill another gnome. Okay. Long-legged terror. Long-legged Mac Daddy. Where's the last one? There it is. Yeah. Fuck off. Now do we... Okay, we go back here. Yeah. Apparently I haven't got the entire map for Armorang? Really? Alright. It's easy fix. Yeah. The twins have returned, and in one piece at that. I was convinced the pixies would turn at least one of them into a garden ornament, but no. You have the clay, I take it? Wonderful. We need but combine the clay and the water, then heat the mixture with the Fey Lantern. After that, it will be a simple matter of setting upon a suitable form and performing the necessary incantation. I have missed so many lines. Hold on. I know a way to make it so that I don't complete this step. I still had the error message from the crash earlier. Yeah, I'm on. Hurry the fuck up, there we go. Right, let's try that again. Twins have returned, we read that one. We have the clay. Hand over the clay. Yeah, necessary incantation. Beck-Lug, I have a question. In the event that we needed this spell and you weren't around, would it be possible for another to perform the incantation? Assuming they possess the requisite skill, yes. Halric and the others have suffered so much, and I swore to do everything in my power to save them. If there's a chance this spell could do that, I would be the one to invoke it. Mayhap you should be the one to do so. A deep understanding of the subject's physical state, combined with a strong desire to help them, can drastically increase the magic's effect, and you are plainly more familiar with these people than I. I dare say there are few in all of Northrend more dedicated to finding a cure. Is that not so? Absolutely. She's the best woman for the job. I'll give it my all. For Halric. For Tesleen. And we are all of a mind on the matter. Alizé shall be the one to conjure the familiar.
Let us begin. I trust you've prepared the clay? Very good. Now, I would have you sculpt for me a porksy. Plump, with floppy ears and a short curly tail.
A porksy. I think I know what you mean. There we are. How's that?
What the fuck?
Well, it is certainly creative. There's no denying that.
Why don't you try? I mean,
Yes,
he's an
yes,
artist.
I'm no artist. Very funny.
Not necessarily a sculptor.
Pay him no mind, child. Though it may look like a grotesque parody of reality, it is what the invoker believes that matters.
You're not helping.
But I speak the truth. If successful, this incantation will turn imagination into reality. Which is why the only thing of import is what you believe this figure embodies. You must focus. Hold the Porksy's image steady in your mind's eye. Now then, as I taught you, relax and allow your energies to flow.
With flesh of clay I bid thee rise, on wings of dreams to touch the skies. What once was idle fantasy, I call forth to reality.
Hey! Chubby little thing.
Not bad for a first attempt. Now, let us see what can be done for young Halric. Through the operation of the magics you invoked to animate this familiar, it is now replete with the energies required to stir the boy's soul. You need but give it a name, and it will do as your heart desires.
A name.
Sir Porkington.
All right, I've decided. Now. Go, Angelo!
Mother...
Oh. It clearly did something. How is he? Beg Luke. Did it work? I believe it did. You and your fledgling familiar have done well. If my eyes do not deceive, a hint of colour has returned to his soul. Gods, I would jump for joy if I weren't so exhausted. We're so close now, Halric. As you are even now in the process of discovering, the magic asks much of the invoker. What you may not realize is that the same is also true of the subject. As such, you must proceed with caution. However, with further treatment, I have the utmost confidence the boy will make a full recovery. Observing the reanimation of his stagnant soul has been most enlightening. I'll need time to put my theories to the proof, but I believe I can fashion a spell to produce the opposite effect. That is, to induce stagnation, thus enabling our safe transport back to the source via Aurosite. A thought occurred to me about this treatment. Beck-Lug said that when the soul's rendered dormant, the mind is separated from the body, that a person becomes incapable of interacting with the world around them. Does this not sound a lot like some of the Tempered back in the source? Not really. It is the fate of most Tempered to become slaves to the primal, save in a handful of cases, or am I missing something? If I can master this technique, the art of revitalizing the soul, I know of at least one in the source who could desperately use such treatment. Gaboo. Exactly. His condition is uncannily similar to Halric's, is it not? The only difference being that his soul was suffused with earth aspect ether instead of light. It follows that if his soul is subject to a similar kind of stagnation, there may be a chance we can save him, right? Forgive me, but who is this Gaboo fellow of whom you speak? I see. His condition does sound similar, yet there is much and more about the soul that remains unknown, even to me. I say this not to discourage you, you understand, but to remind you that this is delicate work we do here, work requiring patience. Of course, And as long as there is hope for the patients here, I will devote whatever time is needed to see this through. But I refuse to spend that time in idleness. If it's all the same to you, I'd like to stay here with Angelo and continue with their treatment. The two of you should return to the Crystarium with Beck Lug and see if you can't make some headway with their newly posited theories. I would tell you to rest first, but I see you're not to be convinced. Fire of youth. Let us return to the Crystarium, then. Finally! I found you! Kaishir? What are you doing all the way out here? There's trouble back in Yormore. Lady Chai's beside herself. Sighing, pacing, the whole lot. Not enough begged me to go. Near enough begged me to go and find you. Sighing and pacing, you say? It must be urgent. I take it I will be returning to the Crystarium alone? Go on, then. It's not as if I have anything for you to do. Thank you, Beck Lug. Sorry for bothering you and all that, but she says the future of Yormore's at stake. Okay. How? Lady Chai's up in the parlour. Best not keep her waiting, eh? Wrong. Teleport. Hold on, I walked straight fucking past him. Well, naughty seems out of the ordinary. But I do not see Lady Chai anywhere. Probably pacing around outside again, staring off into the distance and all that, sighing. Strange. Let's see if we can find her and discover the source of her distress. I'm guessing it's to do with her husband.
Thank heavens you're here.
Lady Chai, whatever is the matter?
I knew not where else to turn. Oh, this is all too much for my poor heart to bear alone.
Alone? What of Master Chai?
That is the very reason I summoned you. He's gone.
What? What happened?
It all began after the events at Mount Gulg. With Lord Vorthry out of the way, we all agreed that a new leader must be chosen.
And so you held an election?
Yes, well, sort of. Not a single person volunteered to stand, you see. After a lifetime of leisure, we free citizens have grown somewhat indolent. Readapting to the harsh realities of life is trying enough, but to take charge of a broken city as well? No one wanted such responsibility. Nevertheless, Yulmore could not well do without a leader, and so we decided that anyone and everyone should be considered a candidate. And after we cast our ballots and tallied the votes, the mayorship fell upon my dear husband.
Well, given the manner in which he orchestrated the construction of the giant Talos, none could deny his leadership qualities.
But even before then, he had proven himself at Daedalus Stoneworks, don't forget. He is more than qualified for the role. The perfect choice. indeed. I told him as much when his victory was first announced. But perhaps I was too forceful in my attempt to encourage him. For shortly after that, he vanished without a word.
You believe he was so daunted by the burden of leadership that he felt compelled to flee? Please, Lady Chai, dry your eyes. Your husband does not strike me as the sort of man who would abandon his duty, much less his beloved wife. There has to be some other reason for his absence.
You truly think so? What about you? What do you think has become of my husband?
I don't know. Whatever it is, he won't have fled.
And there you have it, Lady Chai. You needn't worry. Master Chai loves you more than all the world, and he will return. Wherever he may have gone, rest assured we will find him.
Thank you, my dear boy. You have set my mind at ease. I will trust in my husband and await his return.
That bodes well. Yeah. Hold on. Oh wait, it's there. Okay, never mind, it's fixed. Burnbot was a little fucked, but it's fine. It makes no sense for Master Chai to have left without a word, but even if he had, he would not have done so unobserved. Someone here will have seen something, I'm sure of it. We should split up and inquire as to whether anyone saw him leave, or failing that, if they have any idea where he might have gone. I'll meet you at the Glory Gate to compare notes later on. Master Chai? Yeah, I spoke with him recently, though I recall he was in a rather dour mood. Concerned about Yormore's neglect of industry, you see. With Lord Vorthry's apparently inexhaustible stores of meal and no great need for money, it's little wonder our businesses were all but forgotten under his rule. But I assured Master Chai the Boutique of Splendors will do all it can to contribute to the revival of trade here in Yormore, which seemed to satisfy him. He took his leave soon after. Your exchange with Moen has taught you about the stagnant state of business. Looking for Master Chai, are you? Is something amiss? When last I saw him, he seemed ready to collapse from exhaustion. I insisted he rest and catch his breath, and we talked for a while about his concerns over the city's defences, amongst other things. He made more than a few valid points. Many of our men are still recovering after your confrontation with Lord Vorthry. Finding General Ranjit in a heap in the middle of the plaza shook us all to our core. The man commanded no small amount of loyalty, and some of our longest-serving soldiers seemed lost without him. Indeed, a number of them left. Not that we blame you, of course. Without you and yours, we'd still be blind to the error of our ways. Anyway, funding permitted, I proposed replenishing our ranks with volunteers from the derelicts in Gatetown. We have a duty to protect not only Yulmore, you see, but the surrounding regions of Clusia as well. And I, for one, would welcome any man or woman willing to take up arms for that cause. Indeed, I told him as much, and he seemed relieved to hear it. It was on that note that we parted ways. He headed outside, as I recall. Perilous state of Yulmore's defences. Okay, and where's the last one? The last one's north of the teleport, so let's just teleport. Aye, I recall a man fitting that description. Asked to speak with a poor bugger's lately come from right. Said he wanted to know the state of things down in the derelicts. You can be sure he gave him an earful. Lack of food, medicine, clothing, there's plenty to tell. We hunted high and low for whatever we can scavenge, and it's barely enough to fill our bellies. But folk here don't just want to survive. They want to thrive. When he heard that, he started mumbling to himself. Something about finding us work, I think. Fair play to him, though. Not content with having his ear chewed about the derelicts, he asked about the other settlements and all. After that, I can't really say. It looked like he was headed for Gatetown when I last saw him. Check it. There you are. How did you fare? Have you learned anything which might offer a clue as to Master Chai's whereabouts? Interesting. He apparently paid a visit to the Queen Bee as well. They discussed the possibility of granting admission to customers from outside Yulmore, an idea to which the proprietor was surprisingly receptive. Sounds like he's got big plans for the place. Yulmore, I mean, not the Bee. Perhaps, but the question remains, where did he go after leaving the city? All we know for certain is that Master Chai has shown great concern not only for Yulmore, but its surrounding settlements. It seems logical then that, having consulted those within the city walls, he would wish to do the same to those without. After, if you would go and make inquiries in Right, I shall do likewise in Stilltide. Gatetown I leave to you, Kaishir. Fair enough. Where shall we meet when we're finished? Well, Top Rung would seem to be here to be his next most likely destination. Let us reconvene there. With any luck, one of us will have stumbled upon him by then, but if not, we'll be well situated to continue our search. Okay, so I need to go to Stilltide, right? No. I needed to go to Right. Whoops. Oh, that's a point. Another crash. Thank you for that. Shared Fates. I am nearly done with Lakeland, at which point I will be halfway through the zones. That is taking a hot minute. Mainly because I'm spending so much time in Hydatos. So I'm not focusing on Fates, but I've been doing Fates whilst waiting for queues to pop and things like that. No, the name doesn't ring any bells, but there was a rather dapper-looking Mistal gentleman here not long ago. He wanted to talk about relations between Wright and Yulmore, or rather, the lack of them. We lost a great many people to their promises of meal and the chance of a lavish life among the free, and Vorfrey thought to take even more from us, conscripting the few able-bodied men we had left to guard his paradise. Needn't tell you what happened when the Cineas came. Such things are hard to forgive. But Vorfrey's gone now, and we're curious to see what will become of Yulmore in his absence. That's what I told your friend, Chai Nuz, was it? And I'm sure the others said the same. Not what he wanted to hear, I suppose, because he left soon after. That was that. Okay, I need to get to the top of top right. Can do. So, he paid a visit to both Wright and Gatetown as well, did he? I see. Kai Shear and I gleaned much the same. He seems determined to salvage what goodwill might yet remain among the settlements of Calusia, the only likely place he has left to go being Amity. Come, if we are quick, we may yet catch up with him. Well, there he is. After Alphino, Kaishir? What are you doing here? We might ask you the same, Master Chai. We've been looking all over for you. Looking for me? Whatever for? Lady Chai has been nigh inconsolable in your absence. She claims you disappeared without so much as a word, and bade us return you to her side. What in the blazes are you talking about? I left a letter for her in our chambers. Though I suppose she could have overlooked it. And when she gets an idea into her head, I can only apologise. No harm done, Master Chai. But since we are here, might I ask what compelled you to come all this way? We were told you'd been elected mayor, and from what we've gathered from the nearby villages, you've been inquiring about the people's grievances. Is it safe to assume you mean to take office? Now, let's not jump to conclusions. I did seek to learn about the problems faced by the people of Calusia. That much is true, but I am by no means sure I am the man to solve them. Tackling our many challenges will require resources, and until I have secured them, it would not be right to assume the role of mayor. I see. And you believe said resources can be found here? Indeed. The people's grievances are many, but in the course of my inquiries, I have already met with several individuals willing to lend their aid in addressing them. However, there remains one individual crucial to my plans. Man whose counsel may yet make a mayor out of me. With respect, such forethought is in itself proof of your suitability. The city needs you, Master Chai, and I'm certain this man of whom you speak, whoever he may be, will reach the same conclusion. What little it's worth, we'll vouch for you should he require convincing. Whatever you need, you can count on us. I don't know what to say. You don't need to say anything. You got your actions to speak for you. For as long as I can remember, all I ever wanted was to make it into Yulmore. That dream's gone now. Burst like a bubble. Or a boil, more like. Anyway, outside of repaying Master Alphino, I haven't had a clue what to do with myself. Spent most days in a daze. But you've been running up and down trying to find a way to fix this mess for everyone. And I reckon you can do it. You got this lot up Mount Gulg, didn't you? How hard can mayoring be? You gotta steer Yulmore to a better future. I know it. And I want to help. Properly help. Do something that's gonna make a difference. I don't know what it is yet, but I'll work it out on the way. If you let me come with you, that is. You give me entirely too much credit, a lot of you. I can't deny it gives me heart. Come then, let us press on together. Thank you, Master Chai. But we mustn't get ahead of ourselves. Yulmore needs more than a man with good intentions, which is why I am here, to find one with the experience needed to see the city thrive. Who is this man exactly? And are you certain he's here in Amity? Rendon is his name, and yes, he is, or was. I had scarcely begun to explain myself when he decided his time was better spent elsewhere. He served as chief advisor to Vorthri's father when he was in office. If Ranjit was the mayor's right hand, one might say Rendon was the left. And between them, they kept Yulmore on the road to prosperity. The city needs more than a mere man of business, which is why I must find him. But even if you do, what makes you think he'll listen? Before giving chase, might it not be wise to speak with those who know him, here in Amity? They may be able to shed some light on his reason for rejecting your overtures out of hand. I suppose that does make sense. Perhaps we should start with Tristal then. As I recall, you made a rather favourable impression on him. I'm certain he'd be willing to talk to us. Greetings, friend. And to you too, Master Chai. Presume you're here to ask after Rendon. Couldn't help overhearing your earlier, exchange. Yes, well, with Vorthri gone, Yulmore wants for a leader. Should no one rise to the challenge, the city could very well collapse. I came here seeking Rendon's counsel in the hopes that we could build a better Yulmore together. That is still my wish, given how abominably you were mistreated there. I'll quite understand if you choose not to help. Worry not, Master Chai. I bear no grudge against you or the people of Yulmore. I would not see you suffer for Vorthri's villainy. As you no doubt gathered from your meeting earlier, Rendon can be rather uncompromising. He has his principles, you see, and little patience for anyone he deems less committed to their own. Your desire to right the wrongs of your past, of Yulmore's past, is quite admirable. I fear the guilt you bear on the city's behalf works against you. I can see it in your eyes, in the way that you carry yourself. It goes without saying he sees it as well. You must let those feelings go, Master Chai. Be more assertive, commit to this course, and prove to him Yulmore has the resolve to change. Resolve to change? I believe he was heading towards Pit 8 when he left. If you plan to go and speak with him, I suggest you be firm and clear in your intentions. Very well. To Pit 8 we shall go, and I will not take no for an answer. Nay, not even a maybe. Hello.
Well, well, it's you again. Well, I see you've invited your friends. Need them to fight your battles for you, do you?
I didn't invite them, as it happens, though they are indeed my friends. Well, not only mine, but every true Yulmoran's. They are the ones who awakened us to the truth, to Lord Forthry's villainy, the famous warriors of darkness.
Damn Skippy.
Are they now?
Yes, they are. It would be no exaggeration to call them our saviors. We owe much and more to their kindness, but we cannot depend on that kindness forever. To do so would be a little different from entrusting our affairs to Lord Forthry. Nay, we must learn to stand on our own 2 feet. And I would have them present to witness my attempt.
Hear, hear, Master Chai.
Your sentiments are admirable, yet admirable sentiments do not a nation make. In my capacity as advisor, I once strove to build a better Yulmore. Gave honest counsel to my superiors, drafted laws for the benefit of one and all. But in time, my values fell out of favor. There was no need for them in this paradise Forthry was creating. And so I left my homeland behind. But you, Chai News, you were content to wallow in indolence under Forthry's auspices. And so I cannot help but ask myself what manner of nation you intend to build.
Fair question.
I can offer no simple answer to that question. But this much I will say. It is my hope that Yulmore can become a nation which her citizens might freely choose to build together. A great many people, myself included, flocked to Yulmore seeking sanctuary. The alternative being to live in fear and die in pain. It seemed an easy choice. And sanctuary we found. As much food and drink as we could ever want. Secured at the cost of the surrounding villages. Little wonder the people gathered at our doorstep, begging to work among the bonded. The free were blind to it all, of course. Content to, as you say, wallow in indolence. In ignorance. Were I mayor, I would first take stock of the city's resources and see that they were assigned equitably. Our days of reckless consumption are behind us. The distinction between free and bonded died with Forthry. The needs of rich and poor alike must be considered if our nation is to survive. To which end I would take steps to secure channels for supplies, rekindle relations with nearby settlements, who re-establish industry, reach out to neighboring nations, and the list goes on and on. But I am no ruler, nor even a politician. I am an entrepreneur. My expertise lie in planning and profit. I haven't the knowledge or experience to run a nation. Please, Rendon, will you not help me? Together, we could solve the city's problems. Build a Yulmore for the people.
A Yulmore for the people? I rather like the sound of that. But before I offer you my counsel, I would be certain of your ability to perform the duties of office.
You would?
You ask me to help you solve Yulmore's problems, but first I would see you solve one on your own. Accomplish that, and you will prove both to me and the people that you are a man worth following.
Understandable again. Which problem? Oh, I need to do the dwarf weekly quest again. Right then. Is there a particular issue you would have me resolve? You seem to have conducted an assessment of the problems Yulmore now faces. I assume you will agree, therefore, that the matter of dwindling food stores is the most pressing. Ah, yes. Meal being neither a desirable nor less sustainable option, I assume alternative foodstuffs are now required to fill the void. And a man who hungers is not like to contribute much to society. Save violence, perhaps? So tell me, how do you propose to solve this problem? Give me a satisfactory answer, and I'll consider offering you my counsel. Well, in the short term, you could seek aid from other nations and set up agriculture to have self-sufficiency for the longer term. A combination of measures would seem to be in order. One to address the immediate issue of supply, and another that of production. Go on. For the present, Yulmore's coffers can be used to purchase food from our neighbours. That would afford us time to address the underlying problem that affects us all, the long-standing neglect of agriculture. The villages that once served as sources for trade for foodstuffs must be repopulated, their means of production restored. This assumes, of course, that we can rekindle relations with our neighbours, guarantee security and stability in the region, and, most importantly, find people willing to leave the city and take up the rebuilding effort. My. Think of that all by yourself, did you? Well, yes. It began as a rather abstract plan I drafted some time ago, after speaking with the people of Yulmore and the nearby settlements. You've impressed me, Chinos. I have? Well, that is a relief. Oh, you haven't secured my support just yet. Only my attention. Grand plans will not be enough to persuade the masses. If you would ask them to rebuild, you must provide them the means to do so. A fair point, and one to which I have given much thought. I propose the use of Talos to aid in the establishment and maintenance of these settlements. Their employment should drastically improve efficiency and ultimately increase production. Talos? Daedalus Stoneworks closed their doors years ago. Without a ready supply of the necessary equipment, the people would starve before your plans could be put into effect. Well, as the heir to Daedalus Stoneworks, it just so happens Talos are my field of expertise. And with a little help, I'm quite certain we can acquire what we need in no time at all. Brendan's quite right. Building Talos from scratch would require time we simply don't have. Which is why I propose we make use of the long-abandoned Talos which wander the wilds of Calusia. They will need to be deactivated, of course, and if memory serves, the tools required to do so should still be at top rung. Come with me. I mean, yes, it makes sense. Why build new when you can recycle stuff that already exists? Okay, well, I think... Well, no, I pretty much know that we should be able to finish patch 5.1 today. Because this is the third to last quest. Once I've done that, I should then go and do the weekly from the dwarves. After that, it'll probably be time to end the stream. Because it's already 10:30. Aha! The old memory hasn't let me down. This chest contains canisters filled with a dastardly potent insulating powder capable of halting the flow of ether in a Talos. We need only get within throwing distance of one and let it fly, thus disabling them without damaging them. Ingenious. An old trick of the trade, nothing more. Once disabled, it should be a simple enough matter to get them to march to Yulmore. More extensive repairs can wait. Ordinarily, this is where I would ask you to run along and do the deed. As I have said before, it's high time we learned to stand on our own 2 feet. Thankfully, throwing canisters is something even I should be able to manage. Come off it, Master Chai. Even if the Talos ain't a threat, there's 101 other things out there wanting to make a meal out of you. That's as may be, Kaishir. But Rendon tasked me with solving this problem. I will not sit idly by while others risk everything to see my harebrained schemes realized. Not this time. Which is to say, the mere thought of it doesn't fill me with dread. Truth be told, I can't feel my legs. But if I'm to prove I'm a man worth following, I must lead by example. Well said, Master Chai. Hear, hear. Yes, well, it should go without saying that I have no intention of dying for this. I've always preferred living to see the fruits of my labours. And to make sure I do, I will require your help. It is as Kaishir says, these lands are dangerous if one's not careful. I would ask you to use my spyglass to look out for any beasts that could get in the way of my work. I'll also need you to alert me when it's safe to subdue the Talos. Understood? Good. Then let's be off to the quick way, through the north gate, and see if we can't find a suitable vantage point for you. Oh, we're right here. Keep a lookout for danger and alert Shinuz when it's safe to incapacitate the Talos. You may move the spyglass as well as zoom in and out. Easy. I did it. I did it. Let's move on to another Talos, shall we? Do you believe I'm getting the hang of this? may leave the next one to me. That should do it. Now we have all we need to proceed. I can scarcely believe it. It was a reckless, foolish plan, but somehow it worked. I did it! Master Chai, I believe I owe you an apology. Your plan to replenish Yulmor's food stores showed forethought and sound judgment. What's more, it's plain your time at Daedalus Stoneworks has equipped you to lead, as evidenced by the extraordinary company you keep. You, sir, are more than qualified to be the next mayor of Yulmor. I thank you for your vote of confidence, but the fact remains, I am wholly ignorant of the world of politics, which is why I would ask you to join me and grant Yulmor the benefit of your counsel. I would be honoured. When the people behold these Talos, I have no doubt they will lend you their support. It would seem Yulmor's leadership is at last in capable hands. Would you not agree? We should probably be getting back soon, Master Chai. After you've tinkered with the Talos and all that, Lady Chai's worried sick.
Right then, form a line and make for Yulmor.
What's that noise? Wicked White! Runaway Talos! Call the guard!
Just the one. Oh no, okay,
Stay back,
there
all
are
of
a
you.
couple.
Is that... Darling, you're back.
But of course I'm back. You didn't see. Dearest, I can't.
Jesus Christ.
Oh! Oh dear.
He's having to use healing magic. That's a nice touch.
Oh, thank you.
I'm sorry, my darling. It's just the sight of you filled me with such joy, I couldn't help myself.
Oh, no, it's all right, dear. I should have just come out and said what it was I was intending, instead of entrusting the task to a hastily scribbled letter.
Does that mean you'll do it?
Well, I'm here, aren't I? I mean, not that my absence signified any unwillingness, you understand? Oh, no, naught could be further from the truth. I only left to enlist the aid of the former mayor's senior advisor. And now that I have it, I believe I am ready to take office.
Oh, how wonderful!
Oh god, here we go again.
Dearest, please!
That poor man. That was quite a reception. One Master Chai will struggle to forget. But more seriously, the arrival of the Talos has seized the public's attention. Once word has spread around Yulmore, it will be that much simpler to gather one and all so that Master Chai can make his inaugural address. No need to fret. I've never felt better. And not at all overawed by the prospect of addressing the assembled masses of Yulmore. As for where to do it, if we're to accommodate everyone who might feasibly wish to attend, I suppose the only place large enough would be the Emergent. Then I'll go and spread the word among the citizens, both free and bonded, that they are to assemble there to meet their new mayor. You there, Kai Shear, was it? Would you go and inform the residents of Gatetown and the derelicts? Of course I will. Good lad. I'll let the guards know not to bar the way to Vorthry's chambers. Goes without saying that I expect the Warriors of Darkness to attend, assuming she's available. Might as well see it through to the bitter end, eh? The doorman at the Crown Lift will show you up. Oh, I completely forgot about the BA run. It's 30 crystals, so it's not the end of the world. But at the same time, it's 30 crystals. That's easily an hour in Hydatos. Easily. Think. Yeah. Hey, Feol.
Ah yes, Master Chai told us to expect you. The emergent's already filling up with people of all persuasions, free and bonded, citizens and non-citizens. But for you, our guest of honor, we've reserved a place at the front. Right this way, miss.
Go on, dear.
Thank you all for gathering here today. But before going any further, could I ask the free citizens of Yulmore to look around? 'Tis a sight none of us would ever have seen under Lord Forthree's rule. Not only do we stand in the familiar presence of those we once called the Bonded, but today we welcome the peoples of the Derelicts and Gate Town too. Today we welcome the Warriors of Darkness, come to bear witness to Yulmore's new beginning. As you know, an election was recently held, at the end of which I had the honor of being chosen to succeed Lord Forthree. You place great faith in me, and I promise to do my utmost to live up to your expectations, and I will seek always to carry out the duties of this office with integrity and fairness. Always, I say, but not forever. Let it be known that I do not intend to hold this post indefinitely. I consider myself but an acting mayor, who will serve only for the interim, while Yulmore is reshaped according to a new set of values. No longer can we think of ourselves as divided, as the free and the bonded, citizens and non-citizens. The systems put in place by Lord Forthree must be undone. But even as we tear down the old, we must give thought to the new, to what manner of nation Yulmore should become. Whatever the answer may be, it cannot be decided by one man alone. And so I propose that an open forum be held, that we might all discuss how best to strive towards a better future. However, there can be no talk of the morrow unless we first address the issues of today. Securing new sources of food, rebuilding relations with our neighbors, re-establishing industry. There is much and more that needs to be done. Too much for a mere man of business. And so I pledge instead to do everything in my power to ensure our city's security and stability while we all work together to see these problems solved. The road before us will not be easy, and I know full well how daunting the prospect of honest labor may seem to some of you. But we must accept the reality of our circumstances. We must move forward. This much we owe to ourselves and to the brave heroes who risked their lives to bring back the night. Once we have shored up our city's foundations and regained some semblance of normality, let us reconvene to speak of the future. Until then, I humbly ask that you lend me and each other your strength. For Yulmore!
The framing of the massive Talos that he put together in the background. It was a fine speech, Master Chai. I believe your words stirred every soul in attendance. Stirred them to action, I hope. If I have learned anything from all of this, it is that change begins with the individual. It is but a matter of finding the strength to take the first step. Assuming my fellow Yulmorans can, it shall be my honour and privilege to help them walk this road we have chosen. We must not forget the individuals who made all of these changes possible. Were it within my power, I would carve a tribute to your heroism into the very stone upon which this city stands. I hate to change the subject, darling. Now that you've officially taken office, have you given any thought to your mayoral seat? We will not be moving into the emergent, dearest. It's too big for one thing, and too far from the people for another. We will retain our current residence, and I will govern here in the parlour. Oh, I was hoping you'd say that. I much prefer the view from the parlour. Begging your pardon, Master Chai, but have you got a time for a word? Yes. Yes, of course. Hathenbet? Aye, that's me. I liked your speech. But there's folk outside these walls as don't even have enough food to last till tomorrow, and more who are counting their crumbs. If you've a plan to change that, I want to help set things in motion. And we've much to discuss. No sooner do I take office than my work begins in earnest. Well, I suppose I brought us upon myself. Thank you again for your help. I hope to see you again before long. What a day! Don't know what it means exactly, but I do know I've got plenty to think about. I sense we all have a great deal to consider. I had resolved to remain here until such time as Yulmore's future was secured. But it is clear to me now the city is in capable hands. I have every confidence they'll find their way, and I believe it's time we went on ours. So Alphino's leaving too, is he? Seems like everyone's moving on. Everything's changing. I've been thinking about what I should do in all of this. Like I told you, I spent most of my life dreaming about living here with my friends in paradise. That paradise is gone, but something better's taken its place. And I reckon I want to be a part of it. This "you're more for the people" Master Chai's been going on about ain't going to build itself after all. Not that I'm much of a builder. Me and my friends will find a way to make a difference, though. Help keep things changing for the better. Far nobler dream than the one to which you clung before, and one I'm happy to say we share. Whatever path you choose, I will pray for your success. Well, when you put it like that, there's no going back now, is there? We got a few ideas on how we can do our bit. Just a matter of taking the first step. Oh, beehive! I have a feeling that that's a custom delivery? Questline? Yeah, it is. Okay. We'll worry about that another time then. Truly, to see Kai Shir thus inspired by our actions is inspiring in itself. Yet, however much I may wish to stay and see what comes of his efforts here in Yulmore, we have matters of our own to attend to. Come, we should return to the Crystal Tower. Mayhap Beck Lug's studies have borne fruit in our absence. But this is the last quest of 5.1. So we've gotten through an entire patch worth of MSQ. Which is good. Hopefully the other patches go similar. Do you have business with the Crystal Exile? Lego! Welcome back. We are given to understand a new mayor's taken office in Yulmore. Indeed. Our good friend Master Chai was elected by popular vote, and, after some considerable soul-searching, chose to accept the post. It's a shame you weren't able to attend his inaugural speech, though I have no doubt you'll see more of him in the future. But tell me, how fared you in preparing the White Aura site? Our work did not proceed quite as planned. In your absence, we had a frank discussion on the principles of soul transference and concluded at length that White Aura site was ill-suited for our purposes. But, Uriange, did you not say that compared to the massy soul of an Ascian, the stone could house one of ours with ease? That I did, and armed as we are with Beck Lug's invaluable insight, 'twould indeed prove a trifling matter, were we to disregard the inviolable link twixt mind and soul. A link which would, we did belatedly realize, be weakened most perilously in the process of rendering our souls dormant, as Aurasight doth require. Thus, the shedding of these fleshy simulacra, and the surfeit of ether which compriseth them, would in all likelihood deprive us of our psyches as well. It would, theoretically, be possible to channel your minds into the Aurasight instead, but we would more than likely sacrifice your souls in the process, which is why we've abandoned that plan, and instead devoted our time to finding a means by which mind and soul might be transported together. And we're no closer to a solution than when we first began. It is a vexing conundrum indeed, but one for which the Crystal Exarch has posited a most intriguing solution. When our discussion turned to the transference of memory in the psyche, I could not help but be reminded of a technique with which I have personal experience. Do you recall what we learned of my eyes from our encounter with Doga and Une? I speak of the royal eye of the Allegan Imperial line. gifted to my forebears through the blood and memories of the ancient Alligans. It is by this gift that I am able to control the Crystal Tower. If we were to gain an understanding of the technology by which the Alligans were able to accomplish this transference, perhaps then we could keep mind and soul together. Imagine, if you will, a device like unto a soul crystal, replete not only with our worldly memories, but also the bountiful energies of the soul. That is our current avenue of investigation, and we will follow it wheresoever it leads. Makes sense. While we are thus engaged, I think it best that after return to the source and inform Kryle and the others of our findings. Indeed, I imagine Tataru will be relieved to hear we've made progress of a sort. Then I would beg leave to relay our findings unto Thancred and Rhine, and to assist where I may in their investigation of the empty. Yes, please do. Should we have need of your counsel, will not hesitate to summon you. Give our regards to Tataru, won't you? Oh, Tataru! I still need to do all of the level 80 job quests. There's only one for each class, but still, there's what, 15 classes in Shadowbringers? No. Is it more? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why am I doing it that way? 17. Eesh. Yeah. So that's 17 quests. After, you're back! How did everything go in the first? Wait, don't tell me. Kryle will be here shortly and she'll want to hear it too. She's just tending to the others. Their bodies. I mean, gods, I don't know if I'll ever get used to saying that. Anyway, you can tell us everything the moment she gets here. Upon speaking with Tataru, several cutscenes will play. Let's do it.
Sorry to keep you waiting. I've carried out the treatment as per Master Matoya's instructions. It should slow the destabilization of their corporeal ether quite significantly. But tell me, how fare our friends in the first?
So this Becklug's the first to lead an authority on soulcraft, are they? Sounds promising.
And Urianger's proffered solution of white auracite is rather ingenious now that I think of it. Well, while they press on with their preparations, you may rest assured we will continue to do our part here.
Oh, you're back.
Estinian!
And none the worse for wear, I see.
Estinian! Oh, thank the gods! We've been worried sick. Did you lose your link pearl or something?
The situation in Garlemald has become more complicated. I was making my escape from the capital when I ran into one of yours, Riol. He thought it best we come straight here.
More complicated how?
Where to begin? After entering the Empire via Razat Han, I went about my mission of investigating Black Rose. It was then, inside a provincial factory, that I encountered the one who styles himself Shadow Hunter, Gaius Baelsar. Our goals being apparently aligned, we joined forces and ventured on into the heart of the capital, to the very Imperial Palace itself. There, we found a man whom all assumed dead. But his soul lives on, and he has wrested back his flesh. Xenos Ye Galvas. Nor did the surprises end there, for no sooner had we arrived than he murdered his sire in cold blood. The Emperor is dead. This sent Gaius into a rage, and he charged in, blade drawn. What's wrong?
Seen him in action, his body at least. You will not best him alone. Nay, death will not come easily to that thing. If you would join me, then by all means. What good it'll do. The Black Wolf and the Azure Dragoon. I suppose this might suffice. Come then. Damn. Already working together in unison. Impressive. Testament to what good warriors they are. Ah, the simple pleasures of one's own flesh. Truly, there's no place like home. Abomination. Whatever he is, After was barely a match for him. If we stay here much longer... Emperor Varus, your Radiance, are you alright? We may wear out our welcome. And now they'll think that Gaius did it. Your Radiance, no! Must even the most middling of sport be spoiled? The world conspires to bore me. But I have no cause to remain. I leave these vermin to you. Xenos! Well, any bright ideas? just one. Good shot. Yeah. Your radiance! The intruders have taken flight. I repeat, the intruders have taken flight. Deploy all available Magitech armor. We cannot let them escape. Oh, okay. I guess this is the, yeah, this is the, okay. I would prefer Dragoon if this was kind of how it played. There's no end. Oh, twins. Good job, guys. Wish I had you in Gimlet Dawn. We make ourselves easy marks by moving together. I suggest we split up. Alright then, I'll take the low road, so to speak. Whee! I'll see you outside. Stay safe. Well, well. Someone's been busy. Oh. Huh? Oh. Arc Ultima. And you would bar my way, would you? So be it. Come, Needhog. Lend me your strength. He's basically a Titan from Attack on Titan. It's the nape of his neck is his weak point. It seems we've been afforded an impromptu field test. Synthetic ore system? Oh, my attacks are different. damage over time ability. Loading sample 14. Which one horrible? Astramavani. Sample 12. Now invulnerable. And that's what the limit breaks for. Nidhogg, Chosen, Fury.
Taste my lance.
Okay, that's pretty cinematic. Feel sorry for that guy though. Guardians and then Machina. Now, where are you, Gaius? Now, do I play as Gaius? No. Okay.
Are you all right?
And back to voiced.
Peer into my past, did you?
Well, I didn't quite relive the experience as you did, but I bore witness to it all.
I'm still not sure what I think of this gift of yours, but no matter. Our confrontation was cut short when the Imperial Guard arrived. It was then that Xenos took his leave, citing boredom.
To think their research into the Echo could bear such fruit. Escaping death, jumping from one body to the next, and returning to his own after all this time. He is an Ascian in all but name.
It beggars belief, aye. But no more than a hero traversing the rift between worlds. My concerns are far more prosaic. With the Emperor dead and the Crown Prince missing, the Empire is in disarray. Until order is restored, assuming it even possible, we needn't fear an Imperial reprisal. And for reasons of his own, Xenos took it upon himself to rid the world of Black Rose. Riol has already gone to apprise the Alliance leaders of these developments. We may leave the matter in their hands for now.
Then perhaps we have seen the last of the fighting at Gimlet. Though, if it comes to civil war, I cannot help but fear for the provinces. Ah, I'd nearly forgotten to ask. What became of Gaius? Did he not escape with you?
That he did, but we parted ways shortly after leaving Garlemald. He claimed another threat had arisen which demanded his attention. He didn't elaborate, but the absence of some device or other in the capital gave him reason to believe they're planning something. Lest you worry, I believe he has well and truly shed the Black Wolf's pelt. Conquest is no longer his objective. We may safely leave him to his own devices.
Well, it's nice to have one less foe to worry about, even if we do have a mysterious new threat to look out for instead. Speaking of which, I'll see that Riol and Al Shinobi are made aware. Though we still know next to nothing, it can't hurt to be vigilant.
Well then, with Black Rose nipped in the bud, I believe I've fulfilled my part of the bargain.
That's true, but with the Archon still slumbering away, we were hoping you might agree to stay with us for a little bit longer.
Just become one of us, you fuck.
Sorry, but I'm not inclined to extend my contract. Gaius isn't the only one with business to attend to.
Thank you for your help then, Estinian. I see why Alphino admires you so.
Farewell, my friend. See that you don't make a habit of dozing off in battle.
I'll try.
I suppose we should all be getting on then. As ever, we will see to the Archon's needs. In the meantime, why not get some rest? You've more than earned it. Go on.
You must be shattered after all that hopping back and forth between worlds. Why not stay here and rest for a while? I'm sure Beck-Luke can manage without you. They've got enough science to help them, if you ask me. And with that... maybe not. Meanwhile, in Garlemald... I was going to say with that, we finished the patch, but nope, not yet. Traitors. You would dare deny Lord Nerva the throne. Ugh. Who's Nerva? Onward. Before this day is done, victory shall be ours. So it is civil war. Again. Hey, Xenos. Boring, boring, boring. You think? I find it amusing, like dogs herding cattle to the slaughterhouse. Elidibus? Judging by the color scheme? That hue. Your soul is... Who are you? Before your majesty, I am but another dog, lost, in want of a new master. A hunting dog, if you should wish it so. For I know full well the prey you would seek next. Zodiark. Okay, so Xenos is going to seek to summon Zodiark to fight it. Unwittingly playing right into the Asian's hands. Meanwhile, in Yulmore of the First... Did you hear? The mayor's reopening Daedalus Stoneworks, and they're looking for labourers. There's talk of resettling some of the old abandoned villages too. They're even laying on free Talos to help anyone willing to make the move. Free Talos? We'd best get packing. Steady work, board and lodging. That's not a recipe for hope. Don't know what is. Ardbert? Hope. Yes. So long as I yet live, I would see that feeble flame rekindle. It is my destiny to see our dream fulfilled. Okay. And that gives us the Of Virtuous Deeds title. Right. I am gonna quickly, if I can, do the weekly for the dwarves that I keep forgetting about. I don't know how many more we need to do of it, to be honest. It's the Merchant of Comrade. Because we basically need Whence the Heart Leads. Is the quest that we want, which I don't think we've done yet. The Andalusia? No. Others? Chronicles of a New Era? Don't think. Your Heart of the Dark. There it is. All that grinds is not glued. Yeah. Merchant of Comra. Okay, so I don't think we've done the Merchant of Comra before. The one that we would be looking for is whence the heart leads. So I think there's probably still another week after this. Probably. I appreciate you letting me join you, and apologise for my earlier rudeness. Not to make an excuse, but it's been a trying time for us all. Now, I've been pondering the ways in which I might contribute to the rebuilding effort. While I don't have much talent, not outside those considered normal for dwarves, such as drinking at any rate, people do say I have the gift of the gab. Using this gift, I've mind to peddle wares in the outside world to earn coin to put toward our work. There's just one problem at the moment. We don't have anything that could fetch a halfway decent price. No, we need something more unusual and exotic than our grog and automata. And as I racked my beard for their ideas, it came to me. What could be more unusual and exotic than objects from another world? The machines have a base inside the crater, and I understand it's brimming with all manner of their paraphernalia, such items are guaranteed to fetch a high price. We just need someone to venture in to retrieve them. You. If you're not fussed about what I bring back. As long as it's unusual, I'm confident I can spin a sales pitch for it. Oh yeah, the coin bags of Yormore would trip over themselves for such rare curios. So just bring back the items and leave the rest to me. Our coffers will be full before you know it. Okay. That doesn't mean that I need to run the dungeon though. It just means that I need to go into it. That's fine. We can do that. Although I should change... There we go. Heavy container? Interesting first choice. Okay, there it is. In 2B's room? Indecipherable tomes. That'll do it. Having to remember what class I was for a second. Back from the crater, are you? Come, come, show me what you were able to find. Oh, strange and wondrous items all. I'll examine everything closely before I attempt to peddle them, but these ought to be snapped up with nary a fuss. But thanks for bringing these. Now I can do my little part for our village. Oh, and before I forget, the chief was asking for you earlier. If you have a moment, do go see what he wants. What do you want? Lally, doubtless you've already guessed how, but another recording device has arrived for Connog. Here. Far as I can tell, he's sending them at regular intervals. What could the boy be up to? Huh? I could ask you the same. What devious scheme are you plotting? Well, whatever it is, you won't succeed. This is my village, and I'm not letting you have your way with it. Why did I say that? Why did I feel so angry? Forget I said anything. As you can see, the lag's still behaving strangely. When I tried talking to him earlier, he all but told me to bugger off. On the face of it, you'd assume he takes exception to what I did at the meeting, but this is a little too strange. At any rate, this is my problem to deal with, not yours. You just focus on doing your part for the cause, eh? Okay. I think if this is how to catch an automaton, no, it's the Merchant of Coma again. I don't know how many weeks we have to do it. It requires 4 weeks. Oh, okay. Apparently. Alright. But that will be where I call it for today. Because it's nearly midnight. We've been going for about 4 hours. And we finished a patch, which honestly I wasn't sure we were going to do today. But yeah, it turns out that I've actually done more than I thought, because I got confused which dungeon was which. So it's the next dungeon that I've done. At least once. But after that, I've definitely not done the third post Shadowbringers dungeon. I've definitely not done it. So it will be after the next dungeon that everything is brand new to me. Although the story at this point is brand new to me, because I was skipping everything by this point, so it's still interesting to me. But yeah, anyway, thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time. There should be a stream tomorrow for more Metaphor ReFantasia, which I'm looking forward to, and then next Friday we will continue the MSQ and probably, well, almost certainly get the last couple of Phase 1 Resistance relics. And I imagine at least one more Hydatos relic. I'm going to try and make it more than one, but there'll be at least one Hydatos relic to finish. Hey, Quizzled Puzzle. Thank you for coming by. I'm afraid I'm just finishing up. Thank you for popping by. Have a good one. Later.